Welcome to the final professional chapter, Automations for Daily Work. In this lesson, we connect the tools covered earlier, ChatGPT, Claude, and image generation, into practical automated workflows using platforms such as Zapier, Make, and N8N. The goal of automation is not to remove human judgment. It is to remove repetitive transfer of information so that people can focus on decisions, quality, and client relationships. Typical high-value automations include a new form submission that is summarized by AI and sent to Slack or email, meeting notes that are structured and pushed into a CRM, a content brief that generates a draft and a matching image and places both in a review folder, or a support ticket that is classified and given a draft reply for human approval. Choose the platform according to your needs. Zapier is excellent for fast setup and a large library of integrations. Make offers strong visual control and flexible scenarios. N8N provides an open source and self-hosted option when data residency or cost control matters. For maximum control, you can also call the official APIs directly. Best practices remain consistent. Start with a simple, reliable flow. Always keep a human review step before anything is sent externally. Log errors and define clear fallbacks. Protect API keys and never hard-code sensitive credentials. Test with non-sensitive data first. A practical starting exercise. Pick one repetitive process you perform every week. Map the steps, identify where AI can add a summary, classification, or draft, then build the smallest possible automation that delivers that step. Measure the time saved and the quality of the output. Expand only after the first version is stable. This concludes the series on AI tools for daily professional work. You now have practical approaches for ChatGPT, Claude, Mid-Journey style image generation, and the automation layer that connects them. Apply one technique from each chapter in the coming weeks and build from real results. Thank you for your attention and for following the complete series. Let us go deeper with concrete workflow patterns and implementation guidance. Workflow 1. Form to Insight. A new type form or Google form response triggers an automation. The text is sent to ChatGPT or Claude with a fixed prompt that extracts key points, sentiment, and recommended next action. The structured result is posted to a Slack channel and optionally logged in a spreadsheet. A human reviews the suggestion before any client-facing action. Workflow 2. Meeting to CRM. After a call, notes are pasted or uploaded. An AI step produces a clean summary with decisions, owners, and deadlines. The summary is attached to the relevant deal or contact in the CRM. This removes the friction of manual data entry while keeping accountability clear. Workflow 3. Content production support. A brief arrives in a shared folder or form. One branch generates a text draft with ChatGPT or Claude. Another branch creates a matching visual concept. Both assets land in a review folder with a notification to the owner. The human editor remains the final gate. Workflow 4. Support triage. Incoming tickets are classified by urgency and topic. A gift reply is generated using approved tone and knowledge base excerpts. The draft is presented to the agent for approval or editing. This accelerates response time without removing human responsibility. When building these flows, keep prompts in a central, version-controlled place so improvements can be rolled out consistently. Use environment variables or the platform's secret storage for API keys. Set rate limits and error notifications so failures are visible quickly. Security and governance. Decide which data may leave your environment. Prefer tools that support data processing agreements when handling client information. Avoid sending highly confidential material to public models unless policy explicitly allows it and the data is anonymized. Measurement. Track how many times each automation runs, the time saved per run, and the percentage of outputs that require significant human correction. These numbers tell you whether the automation is genuinely useful or needs redesign. A second practical exercise. Document one process that currently requires 3 or more manual copy-paste steps. Design the minimal automation that removes those steps while preserving a review checkpoint. Implement it, run it for 1 week, and review the results with the people who use it. You now have the conceptual map and concrete patterns to start connecting the AI tools from the previous chapters into reliable daily workflows. Begin small, measure, and expand only what proves valuable. This completes the series. Thank you for your attention. Additional implementation notes for professional environments. Prompt management. Store the prompts used inside automations in a shared document or repository. Version them. When you improve a prompt, update the automation so every future run benefits. Avoid hard-coding long prompts inside the scenario if the platform allows external references or variables. Error handling. Every automation should define what happens when an AI call fails or returns unexpected output. Common patterns include retry with backoff, send an alert to a monitoring channel, or fall back to a simple non-AI path that still notifies a human. Human-in-the-loop design. For any output that will be seen by clients or used for decisions, keep an explicit approval step. The automation prepares the material, a person decides whether it is ready. This preserves quality and accountability while still removing the mechanical work. Scaling considerations. Once a single automation is stable, look for similar processes that can reuse the same pattern. Standardize naming, logging, and review steps so the team can understand and maintain the system. Closing recommendation. This week, implement one small automation that removes a repetitive step you personally dislike. Next week, review the result with a colleague. In the following weeks, expand only the flows that clearly save time and maintain quality. Steady, measured adoption produces better results than trying to automate everything at once. This concludes the automations chapter and the complete series on AI tools for daily professional work. You have practical methods for ChatGPT, Claude, image generation, and the automation layer that connects them. Apply them step by step and build from real outcomes. Thank you for following the entire series. Let us expand with more concrete implementation details and additional patterns so the chapter reaches full practical depth. Building your first automation in practice. Start by listing the exact steps you currently perform by hand. Identify which step is the most repetitive and which step requires genuine judgment. Automate only the repetitive transfer or drafting step. Keep the judgment step with a human. This simple rule prevents over-automation and protects quality. Example walkthrough. Form to team notification. Create a form that collects a short project update. On submission, send the text to an AI model with a fixed prompt that extracts status, blockers, and next action. Post the structured result to a dedicated Slack channel and save a copy in a spreadsheet. Add a filter so that only updates marked as needs attention trigger a direct mention to the project owner. Test with 5 real submissions and adjust the prompt until the extraction is reliable. Example walkthrough. Content brief to draft package. A new brief arrives in a shared folder or via form. The automation sends the brief to Claude or ChatGPT with a prompt that produces a first draft in the required format. In parallel, it generates a simple visual concept using an image tool. Both files are placed in a review folder, and the owner receives a notification. The human editor remains responsible for the final version. This pattern removes the blank page problem while preserving editorial control. Prompt hygiene inside automations. Keep prompts short, explicit, and versioned. Include clear output format instructions such as return only the summary under these 3 headings. Avoid open-ended creative instructions when the automation must be predictable. Review and improve the prompt after the first 20 real runs. Monitoring and maintenance. Set up a simple weekly check, number of successful runs, number of failures, and a sample of outputs reviewed by a human. If the failure rate rises or the quality drops, pause the automation, fix the prompt or the connection, then restart. Treat automations as living systems that need light but regular attention. Team adoption. When you introduce an automation to colleagues, show the before and after clearly. Explain what the automation does and, equally important, what it does not do. Invite feedback after the first week. People adopt tools faster when they understand the boundaries and see that their judgment is still required. Final practical exercise for this expanded chapter. Choose one process that currently costs you or your team at least 30 minutes per week. Design the minimal automation that removes the mechanical part while keeping a human checkpoint. Implement it, run it for 10 working days, and write a short note on time saved and remaining friction. Use that note to decide whether to expand, simplify, or retire the flow. You now have patterns, implementation guidance, monitoring habits, and a clear adoption approach. Start with one small, reliable automation, measure the result, and grow from there. This completes the automations chapter in the full series. Thank you for your attention.